What up, though? What up, though? What's good, everybody? We are back again after another Lions win. Oh, you like them? Yeah, them bars. Them bars is crazy. No, we are back again, though, with another
No.
episode of Lions 411. Yeah, I see we got a hater in the building. We are back with another episode of Lions 411. Checking in, of course, Keith Boggs, King Keith, whatever you want to call me. I'm here,
CB.
kind of, host, keep things going. CB, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
And now you the host that keep things going.
I'm the MC. I'm the MC.
Oh. All right. I am CB. Sierra. You can follow me on TikTok at 411 Lions. You can follow me on Instagram at CB Love That. Oh yeah.
Well, CB, since CB loves that for you, or for you, what
That's
did
right.
you love about this past game? So obviously the Lions played Green Bay. They went to Green Bay. They beat the Packers 24-14, I believe was the final score. What were some things that you love from this game?
I can say what I love. Love Jared Goff. I love he was 18 of 22. What did he throw for? How many yards? Let's see. Not many, but what? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 160, something like that. He was in ones, but he threw that touchdown. Yeah. I loved how Jared Goff played. Over 70% completion rate. Obviously, was excited about the running backs, Monty and Gibbs. They did really good. St. Brown, of course, with his celebration. Yeah, and I loved, obviously, Kirby got an interception. Actually, a pick six. So
First one in his career.
shout out to Kirby. Kirby's been balling out, acting real good for that defense. But yeah, I love definitely the interception of Kirby. Gibbs, touchdown in third quarter after halftime. And Jared Goff, Jared Goff should be in MVP conversation. That's just me.
Yeah, and not just in the conversation, but like near the top of the conversation. It's really kind of just him and Lamar Jackson for me. Like you had mentioned, of course, Jared Goff had a pretty good game. Didn't throw for a ton of yards, but this is obviously one of those games where the Lions go outdoors. The expectation is, oh, Jared Goff can't play outdoors. Jared Goff can't play outdoors. This is a thing that he struggled with, I guess, with the Rams and a little bit with the Lions early on during his time. And so the expectation was that the weather was going to affect him and he was going to struggle outdoors. They played to where the offense needed to be. He didn't take deep shots. Obviously, Jameson Williams won't be back to next week, so the deep shots are a little bit limited anyway. But he didn't have to take those kind of deep shots. He just played. He took what the game gave him essentially, and played a very efficient and effective game. Didn't make a ton of mistakes. So shout out to Jared Goff. Massive shout out, as you had mentioned, to the running game as well. Jahmyr Gibbs has been fantastic. He leads the NFL in yards per carry, currently at 6.4 yards per carry, which is a little bit above Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. He's just been absolutely fantastic. And the offensive line continues to just road grade. Open giant holes. We got some folks on Twitter actually clamoring for Penei Sewell needing to be in the conversation for Offensive Player of the Year, which you'll never see for offensive tackle because they don't put up the stats, but right? Like,
hey, I ain't mad at it.
When you're that good, you don't. He did give up his first sack of the season this year, but it looked more so like he kind of tripped, I think, over Kevin Zeitler's leg, and then the pressure kind of came through. But again, just kind of road grading, just opening up giant holes. I think the Lions running backs both are in I want to say top 5, top 10 in the league as far as yards earned before being contacted. Jahmyr Gibbs continues to just lead the league in explosive runs and just all different kind of advanced statistics. Tom Brady actually made a very interesting comparison for him this past week on the broadcast, which is one that I heard before, but Jamaal Charles. You remember Jamaal Charles here from the Kansas City Chiefs?
Oh, Kansas City.
Yeah,
Okay.
He really kind of like explosive. Like going to run a fast 40, but not the fastest 40 as far as straight line speed, but like the explosion is just like it pops instantly when you see it. Then you count the pass catching ability, and the Lions are doing such a great job of keeping him fresh because they got Montgomery who can close the game out as he did as well. It's just fantastic to see this offense keep rolling even through the bad weather. Because it was raining really bad in Green Bay, but the defense performed. up to expectation as well. Didn't really give up a lot. Jordan Love's decision making has been very questionable so far this season, and we kind of saw that rear its ugly head late in the second quarter when I I mean, I'm glad Kirby Joseph made that play. That's a play that you should make if the ball comes to you. I have no idea what the hell Jordan Love was doing on that
Yeah,
play.
that was bad. And he did the same exact thing later on in the game, but the Lions, they didn't catch that interception. But yeah, Jordan Love, I don't think he should have been playing. I think they should have put in Willis.
Yeah, because it looked like he was clearly being bothered by the injury, which he's been dealing with injuries all year. I don't think that Willis obviously is as an effective of a passer as Jordan Love is. I don't think that's particularly close, but Malik Willis also has played pretty decent early this year, so I definitely understand that sentiment.
I
But
believe he won every time they put him in, Willis.
yeah,
And
exactly. So
Willis wasn't injured, and this was the first time that Jordan Love dealt with a groin injury.
yeah,
So I don't think he should have been playing.
clearly there's some effectiveness. And I mean, the Packers just have really good head coaches, or really good coaches in general, especially offensively. So maybe they should have put Malik Willis in and kind of let him game manage a little bit. But they rolled with Jordan Love, and yeah, he just kind of wasn't able to produce a ton. The Packers did outgain the Lions, second game in a row now. Same thing against Tennessee where they were outgained, but that's more so because of situational related things. The Lions were in the lead, and other teams are like passing and doing all these things to try and keep up and whatnot. And so they put up a decent amount of yards, but the Lions have always kind of had to bend don't break defense, and right now it's looking a lot better than that. Um, there was some bad from this game though, and not bad on the Lions part. You already know what I'm gonna talk about.
Oh God.
Yeah, Brian Branch being thrown out of the game. I don't. You can give your opinion on it. I hate it. I don't get it.
I'm gonna agree with and I know the NFL is gonna give them flack for it. I heard they are starting to give them flack for it. I agree with what Tom Brady said. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it was a flag. I don't think that it leveled to, oh well, we gotta throw him out. Like Tom Brady said, hits are going to happen. It's football. I know they want to protect the players and do this and do that. I'm all for that for some things, but this, it should have just been a flag. Back
Yeah.
in the day, this ain't nothing, but
Oh yeah, for
the
sure. And I
rules.
mean, I'm here for the player safety and the protection. Obviously, like you had said, like there are certain things that you do got to do to protect the players, and I get that. And I do think that on this play, it was a flag. It was a little bit late. It definitely was a high hit. To throw the Lions' best defensive player out of the game that early in the game, to me, is just such a bad decision. And it's the issue that I have with the officiating usually is the consistency. Um,
Hello.
Chris Olave like got absolutely wrecked in a game earlier this week against the Carolina Panthers. Like took his head off, completely knocked him out. I thought that play was later, and I thought that play was higher, and I thought that it was more malicious. That guy was flagged, but he was not thrown out of the game. Same thing.
Hello.
The Bills and the Dolphins. A play late in the game. Jordan Poyer hit, I believe it was Keon Coleman, but I don't remember exactly which receiver it was. High. Again, refs throw the flag. He hit him high. It was a penalty. I get it. I understand it's a dangerous play. He was not thrown out of the game. And again, that play looked identically almost like the play that Brian Branch made his hit on. So for them to throw Brian Branch out of the game, to me, it's just the consistency is really the biggest issue here. Like, why did the Lions continue to be officiated different than other teams? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
And I know they were saying about, okay, after they threw the flag for the hit, they said that Brian Branch flipped off the crowd, so that also contributed to the ejection. That's
I
what they're
thought that he
saying.
was
But I'm
the
like, come on, Green Bay fans, y'all be messing with us,
I,
okay?
from my perspective, it looked like he was thrown out before that happened. I think he was thrown out before that even happened. Because they made the decision pretty quickly to throw him out. Like they threw the flag and they were like, he's ejected from the game. Um,
But there was a pause, and I thought I heard Tom Brady or the other announcer say something about him flipping off the crowd.
he definitely was getting at the refs. I didn't see the flipping off the crowd. If you flipped off the crowd, then I guess it's a little bit of a different conversation. But even then, like another unsportsmanlike penalty, like whatever. I don't know. I just think throwing the guy out of the game, in a game of this magnitude, for a hit like that, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think that it's unnecessary. And the league kind of got to get this together.
I mean, yeah, I don't like it. I like what Tom Brady said. This is football. Hits are going to happen. I mean, just
Hmm.
let them happen. This is not two-hand touch. They want to throw a flag for all these pass interference. They want to do holding. They want to do illegal contact. It's like it's so many flags this season. So many. I've seen. I would say the last couple weeks, I've seen so many touchdowns being taken back over
Hmm.
just the stupidest flags, and it's like referees, y'all got to get it together. But I
Yeah,
don't think that they are.
yeah, because I mean I don't know what the expectation is at this point, and it's a little bit frustrating to see now Branch get flagged for things, and people try to say Kirby Joseph is dirty for making low hits, and I want to give Terry Arnold some credit. He was getting flagged a lot earlier this season. He hasn't been flagged since week 4, by the way. So shout out to Terry Arnold, who continues to look a little better each and every week.
Correct.
But the in general, just the officiating is still a little bit frustrating. I'm hoping that it doesn't come back to bite the Lions because they do play a lot of man coverage. They do play aggressive. They do play physical.
I don't
But
know.
we'll
I don't
see.
know.
We'll see.
Even, even now, obviously this ain't us, but even you saw the Vikings game with the obvious face mask, like, and the referee was standing right there. Like, how did you miss that? His head literally turned all the way around. Even the man did like this because he knew that he messed up and he knew they was gonna call a safety. Nothing.
I don't know. I don't know what the NFL does about their officiating problem. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but it's a little bit frustrating. I thought that it reared its head a little bit during this game. But I mean, other points of optimism. The Lions front seven in general is still holding up pretty well without Aiden Hutchinson. The pass rush doesn't look fantastic or anything like that, and we'll talk about what the Lions have done to address that in a second. But the linebackers have been stepping their game up. Jack Campbell, according to Pro Football Focus, is actually the ninth graded linebacker in the league currently, which is really big for a second year player who kind of struggled a little bit in his first year, a little bit. Anzalone's playing well. I mean, the backups are playing well. Reeves Maybin, Malcolm Rodriguez hopefully will be back from injury. The interior guys still look really good.
Oh yeah.
And Sierra, the Lions made a move today. What did they do?
They traded for Zadarius Smith
Mm-hmm.
out of the Browns out of
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
They only had to give up what, a fifth and a sixth round, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it. So far he has 5 sacks already.
Mm-hmm.
What, 23 tackles?
Yeah.
I like it.
Very, very productive player. Always has been a very productive player. He's not a guy again that's going to come in and just be the next Aiden Hutchinson or the new Aiden Hutchinson, and that's not what the Lions need necessarily. But
Exactly.
they need a productive guy on the edge. They need a proven guy on the edge that can put pressure on the quarterback. Like you said, he has 5 sacks in about 9 games this year, which is a really good rate. His pressure rates are high. His pass rush win rate is really, really, really high. He's a 2-time Pro Bowl player. He's a guy that said that he would be pretty motivated to play against Minnesota in Green Bay a couple of times per season as well. Also, he's under contract for the rest of this season and next season as well. So it's not like you're getting a rental here. You're getting a guy that can come in next year and also play opposite of Aiden Hutchinson when he's back from injury. So I really think just kind of a win for the Lions, and I think a very obvious fit because the Lions clearly like to have bigger, more run heavy defensive ends. Like they don't want a guy that's just a one trick pony that comes around the edge. And Zadarius Smith fits that really well. He's kind of scheme versatile. So he can do a lot of things. I think that it's an interesting move. I'm glad that the Lions did go out and get somebody that is a legit starter.
I
Um,
like it.
yeah, I'm hoping that Josh Pascal, Levi Onwuzurike, those guys can kind of keep up some of the pressure that they've been getting on the edge, because they haven't been bad. They haven't been like amazing or like groundbreakers, but they've been decent players. And when you got what the Lions have in the middle with McNeil and Reader and being able to move the other guys that I just mentioned in the middle as well, it gives Aaron Glenn another chess piece to be able to play with. So hoping that this defense can kind of maintain some form of health. We can get Malcolm Rodriguez back. Hopefully Melifonwu was coming back soon. Like, just get some more chess pieces, some more guys to move around and be creative with. But the defense is holding its own, man. It's holding its own. But they do got a test next week, Sierra. They do got a test next week.
Right, because they got CJ Stroud.
Yeah, they got CJ Stroud, and that Texans offense was like really, really bad against the Jets last week, so that is an encouraging sign. But also, the Jets do have a really good defense, at least on paper. So I'm pretty sure CJ Stroud went like 11 for 30 against the Jets. Like it was rough out there. Um,
They could barely put no points on the board. They
yeah, it
couldn't do
was.
much. They barely could put points on the board this season.
Yeah,
Honestly,
they haven't been at their best. And some of it is injuries. Nico Collins has been out, and he was leading the NFL in receiving before he went out with an injury. Stephon Diggs was also playing pretty well, and he's out now. But they've really been struggling with their offensive line. Their offensive line has just been awful. And you see it a lot when Jared Goff plays. Pressure coming around the edge is one thing. Like, a guy try to strip the ball, whatever, and you can either move up from that or you can let it affect you. Pressure coming from the middle, like not being able to step up in the pocket, not being able to be comfortable stepping into your throw, that really affects you. And it seems like CJ Stroud has been dealing with that a lot this year where he just kind of can't get comfortable and he ends up running for his life. And as good as CJ is, like quarterback just can't play consistently like that.
he'll be running for his life when he plays Detroit this Sunday night. He'll be running. We
Yeah,
gonna get him.
if Aleem
CJ
McNeil
Stroud, we gonna get you.
if Aleem McNeil ends up lined up against Kenyon Green, it might get ugly. Just not a good matchup. And I'm not saying that Aleem McNeil is Quentin Williams for the Jets, but Quentin Williams is going around Kenyon Green every single pass play, like swim move, rush move, like just going around him every single time. McNeil's going to treat him the same way. DJ Reader's going to treat him the same way. Pascal will probably get him a couple plays. Like they got to figure that out because the Lions, now they got Zadarius Smith as well to put pressure on the edge. I don't know if he's going to play this week or not. He probably will. Just limited snaps maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tank Dell's a good weapon, but he's not wide receiver one. So I don't really know what to expect from this Houston game. Their defense it's good. It's a good defense. I would say that. But it's not better than any defense that the Lions haven't seen. It's not a defense they haven't seen already this year.
Yeah, I think that Detroit fans and NFL fans were wondering how we would respond when Hutchinson got hurt. And so far, the last two games, we've been pretty good. And now Brad gave us Zadarius Smith. So, America, we have responded.
Yeah, it looks like the Lions are rolling. And it's good to see them just kind of be able to knock off some tough opponents as well. Going to Green Bay on the road. We'll see how going. Houston is another road game as well. So it won't be a gimme. It won't be a cakewalk. I know that Houston looks a little bit vulnerable right now, but I'm pretty sure they still are 6-3, I want to say, this year. So
6-3 with close games that they barely inch out.
Exactly. A 6-3 team that doesn't necessarily look like a 6-3 team right now. So
They don't.
yeah, they look definitely more like a 4-5 team. But we know what this team can do. We know what they're capable of. So it should be pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, if I had to make a pick, I think the Lions look to be favored again in a game this weekend.
Yeah, I got the Lions. Yeah, I got them by about 9 or 10. I think we
9 or
should
10.
we should be okay. I think we're gonna fluster CJ Stroud. I think our secondary will be pretty good with what Houston has. Obviously, our 1-2 punch running back. We got St. Brown. He'll be standing on his head again.
We got J-Mo coming back too.
Oh yeah, J-Mo is reinstated. He's coming back. We got Laporta. I mean, we got weapons. So I'm not worried about this game. Obviously, it's the NFL. It's an NFL team, but I think we should be okay. I'm not exactly worried. No.
Yeah, the only two things that concern me a little bit are Joe Mixon had a really good game against the Jets. They were running the ball very well, and he's been excellent this season. The Lions are a really good run-stopping team, so I'm not that worried about it, but they got to continue to be a good run-stopping team, and they got to prioritize specifically stopping and running this game because that's going to be pretty difficult. And if you let them get rolling, then if CJ Stroud gets to play action and having time to throw and things like that, don't want to see things get a little bit too, wacky in this game. I want to see the Lions kind of take an early lead and kind of hold on to that and get the Houston crowd out of it a little bit. Houston's pass rush also is good. They got some guys on that defensive line. They got some guys on that team in general. Some good guys in the secondary as well. So
Yeah, but we have one of the best offensive lines in the league, if not the best.
exactly, and people talked about this a lot against Minnesota because Minnesota it has the high pressure rates and they do the unique stuff with the blitzes, and everybody was like, "Are the Lions going to be able to handle it?" And they struggled the first couple drives, but then they figured it out really quickly and were good from there. I think they kind of do the same thing here against Houston, where Houston might get a couple good pass rushes early on, and I think the Lions kind of figure it out and they get rolling. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is just another game where the Lions score 30 plus points. Of course, the Lions still have more touchdowns than incompletions over their past 6 games, which is just ridiculous. It's absolute nonsense. Like it makes no sense at all. So I do expect good things for this Lions offense. I'm hoping that the defense can kind of hold their own and slow the run game down, and don't let CJ Stroud get into any kind of a rhythm. Keep that pressure coming up the middle, honestly.
Yeah, I think that obviously CJ Stroud, he can use his legs to escape, but I think most of the game he will be running for his life. He may escape a couple times, but I think we gonna get to him. I think we gonna fluster him. I think we gonna fluster him.
Yeah, I kind of see the same. But we'll see. We'll see. Game's going to be Sunday at 1 p.m. It's going to be in Houston, so definitely looking forward to it. Still going to be a huge game. There still is a
Is
good.
it? I thought it was 8:20.
I thought it's a 1 p.m. game. Let me check though. It might be. Let's see. I thought it was a 1 p.m. game. Oh, you are correct. It is an 8:20 game. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, that's excellent. Because I have something to do earlier in the day. Bet I will be watching.
Tell us what it is.
Just something work related. I'll be coming back from a retreat.
I know.
Yeah, so definitely be looking forward to that Sunday night football. The Lions seem to get up for these primetime games too, so I think that's the edge in their favor. They really come to play in these Sunday night games, these Monday night games. They haven't really played on any Thursday night games. Thank goodness. I hate the Thursday night games.
Yes, no. I
Yeah,
think we got one coming up though.
those are such.
December.
Well, we got Thanksgiving, which is a Thursday game, but
Yeah.
we'll see. But definitely looking forward to it. Appreciate y'all for continuing to listen to us. And we'll be back after that game, same old, but continue to follow us here. Where can they follow us at?
You can follow us on Spotify at 411 Lions Man. You can follow us on TikTok at 411 Lions Man.
Awesome. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and call it a night.
And on Apple Podcasts.
And on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget us. That being said, everybody have a great evening, day, whenever you listen to this podcast.
Go vote.
Oh, for sure. Make sure that your voice is heard. Hopefully the election turns out well. Good evening.
All right. Peace.